Pegida ist weder islamfeindlich noch ausländerfeindlich oder gar rassistisch.
The attack on cartoonist and journalist of Charlie Hebdo in the name of alleged insult to Prophet Muhammad in Paris shocked the world as the attack sparked a new debate on Islam in Europe. After this, two sides had emerged, one anti-Islam and the other pro-Islam. This happened because after the Renaissance in Europe, religion was no longer at the center of society. In such a situation, people used to taunt mutual satires on Jews and Christians. So, no one took it seriously. But it is not so in the case of Islam. The internal and external conflict of Islam is not hidden from anyone. Not only in France and Germany, but also in Britain, the settlers and immigrants from outside countries which have a large Muslim population are looked upon with suspicion. The largest number of Muslims in Europe live in France, which is about 5 million or 7.5% of French population. Because of this, France suffered the most attack like Nice Paris, but now Sweden has also come under its grip. Indigenous Europeans are being destroyed and the number of foreign Muslim societies is increasing there. In the future, Europe will be seen in the grip of violence and riots. This speculation made about 5 years ago is now visible in front. Sweden, which is counted among the world's top countries in the Human Development Index, is terrorized by rioters shouting slogans like Takbir as they want to beat the blue flag of Sweden. With frequent curfews, Sweden is burning. Sweden is not the only one to suffer all this menace. France, Spain, Germany, Britain, Holland, Belgium are all more or less affected by these conditions. In the lust of cheap labor and economy, the government here distributed unaccounted visas and citizenship to Syrian, Middle Eastern, Arab, Afghan, Pakistani, African refugees and workers. The result is proving disastrous. The population imbalance in European cities has been increasing rapidly over the past 30 years. The birth rate of these Arab migrants is 4 to 5 times higher than that of native citizens of European countries. That's why French, British, German, Dutch, Swedish people are becoming minorities in their own cities. A large part of the rapidly growing Muslim population has grown up on a diet of bigotry. This immigrant visitor is dreaming of a new Islamic Europe by 2030-40. It is being said that the big news of the next 10 to 15 years will be such that the European population whose ancestors created the modern world will disappear, who had achieved the immense success of the old continent for at least 5 centuries. The famous Italian journalist Oriana Fallaci claims that the ancient stronghold of Christianity on the European continent is increasingly giving way to an assertive Islam. Oriana Fallaci is also raising a frighteningly innocent question. Will Islam conquer Europe? Undoubtedly, the next 10 years will prove to be decisive in the transformation of world civilization. What will happen is just a hypothesis that if today the European community remains in the grand illusion of the power of its science, then in the future Europe will see changes in demography along with songs of religious prayer. To maintain a population, it is necessary that the average of women to bear children is 2.1, but in the whole European Union, this rate is merely 1.5 per woman. That is, 2 is falling. This gap is filled by Islamist population. While Europeans give birth to fewer children at an older age, Muslims give birth to a large number of children at a young age. If today we look at the new religious equation of Europe's statistic, then after the implementation of the new refugee policy, which is termed as liberal policy, the number of people who believed in Islam in France is estimated to be more than 20%. In Germany 14%, Britain 18%, Sweden 20%, Netherlands 10% and Belgium 15%. Analysts estimate that in Britain, Islamic mosques host more people each week than the Church of England. A strong, energetic, and youthful movement is needed in Europe to fill the void of traditional Christianity. If this fertility rate continues at this level at present, the Europeans will appear as a past civilization. When this happens, then the Grand Church will be left as relics of the old civilization. It is also possible that the Saudi style administration will not convert it into a mosque, or the Taliban like administration will not blow it up. Some analysts in Europe are today expressing concern and questioning whether the Vatican will be forced to obey the order of Makkah in the future, because by allowing refugee immigration, today Europe is trying to cover its funeral pyre with a blanket of liberalism. Recently, Israel's foreign ministry report said that Islam is now the second largest religion in Europe. According to this report, most of the EU nations are beginning to see the presence of radical Muslims as a threat to the security of the state and their way of life. The report said that according to demographic data, the number of Muslims will continue to grow due to high birth rates and continuous mass immigration. This means that such a demographic increase of Muslim population will be a dark shadow on the Europe in near future. A group of researchers cite the reason, saying that in 2016, the average age group of Muslims across Europe was 30.4. It means 13 years lower than the average for other Europeans, that is 43.8 years. Looking at it another way, 50% of all Muslims in Europe are under the age of 30. In addition, the average Muslim woman in Europe has a fertility rate of 2.6 children, whereas a non-Muslim woman rests on 1.6 children. That is, the fertility rate of a Muslim woman is focused on the target, while the non-Muslim appears to be standing in opposition to the natural process of reproduction. Where there is a child and a dog in non-Muslim homes in Europe, there are 5 to 7 children in refugees Muslims' home. Also across Europe, there are signs of an impending Muslim majority. Muslim in the Belgian port city on Antwerp account for about 50% of primary schools. A quarter of the population of Brussels are of Muslim origin. Perhaps now the world is waiting that which European country will come first under Islamic rule, or after which Islamic world will the first Muslim nation be formed in Europe?